It's becoming news weekends are big because the DOJ and the FBI, when they finally are forced to turn documents over, they like to do it on Saturday night in hopes nobody will notice.
When you do the document dump, late Friday, early Saturday.
Yeah.
Gets through the news cycle when nobody but the real news hounds are paying attention on the weekend anyway.
Absolutely. Which, the fact that they do this really screws up my weekend. You know
I know.
Because then I have to spend all Sunday cutting audio instead of going to the pool with the kids.
That's exactly right.
And I tell the kids.
I noticed you were looking a little pale recently.
I know. I tell the kids, I can't go to the pool. I'm trying to save the Republic.
Yes.
They don't care. They want to go to the pool. To heck with the Republic.
That's right.
Right. So anyway, where to begin? Okay, let me just start by saying this. What has come out is shocking. If you haven't been listening to the show for the last 2 years. If you've been listening to the show for the last 2 years, what has come out this weekend is old news. And you yawned, rolled over, and went back to sleep. Because I've been saying, as fact for, well over a year, that this FISA warrant was based almost entirely on the dossier. How do I know that when that's big breaking news this weekend? This is to put all this into perspective. How long it takes the lie to die. How do I know that? I'm psychic? No, I'm not psychic. I'm really smart? No, I just read a lot of stuff. Sarah Carter has had this for so long. I don't know, we're going on 18 months now? I mean, what is it? April of 2017, I was telling you this is why the FISA court censored them for lying.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was pretty transparent. I mean, so the idea that, I'm watching them on Fox News right now, they're very serious. It's all very serious. I've just found out the dossier was the primary source. Dude, this has been obvious for a really long, long time. And if it weren't obvious, it helped that Devin Nunes, head of the Intel Committee, told us this ages ago. I mean, why is this being treated like new news? It drives me insane. If they wanted to find out, they could figure it out because I did. And not because I did, I just read the people who did figure it out. So this whole thing is just, it's a circus. What it is, and even Fox News finally been dragged to admitting, wow, the dossier was the main source, which means, let me just start unpacking this. And by the way, this is going to be one of these shows where I would just text podcast to the text line, 71307. I usually try to make sure in every hour that you get the main points of what is going on. I can't even do that because I've just got to start from the beginning and go through. I've got a whole show worth of stuff, and you're going to miss important things that they'll be reporting as new breaking news, 2 years from now at the rate we're going? That'll be on the show today. Text podcast to 71307. Okay, let's get started. Where to begin here? Right, let's start with James Comey, former head of the FBI. Let's listen to him lie again. The dossier, no, we knew the dossier was not real. And I went to Trump to tell him that the dossier was not real. But I just wanted him to know, it was out there. Oh, what, did you base the FISA warrant application to spy on Trump and his entire campaign on that dossier you say is fake, Mr. Comey? Oh, no, we would never do a thing like that.
My recollection was there was a significant amount of additional material about Page and why there was probable cause to believe he was an agent of a foreign power. And the dossier was part of that, but was not all of it or a critical part of it.
That's a lie. Okay, that's like a complete and total lie. Yeah, it was source number one. Oh, and they forgot to tell the court the part about the DNC paid for it. And Hillary, that was probably pretty important. Yeah, they didn't mention that. So they could spy on a president they didn't like and, quote, unquote, wanted to impeach, according to the lead agent, Peter Strzok. What's your reaction to all this? This is terrifying. These people still have security clearances, a lot of them. I mean, Peter Strzok still works for the FBI. I mean, they haven't gone anywhere, and we can't stop them because we don't know who they are. I mean, the number one thing, if you look at this FISA application, again, the FBI agents who worked on it, their names are in there. They're all redacted. We can't clean out this agency because the biggest secret here is who did this. We don't know how deep it goes. We don't know how many of them there are. Dozens at least, maybe hundreds. They won't tell us.
Well, all they've got to do is sit on this and run the clock out. Because that strategy worked with Benghazi. That strategy worked with the IRS scandal. That strategy has worked with every scandal that went on during the Obama administration.
Yeah, and it's really sad since it's really obvious what happened here. I mean, even Maria Bartiromo on Fox News finally came flat out and said it.
Look, is it high time we all admit that the Obama administration spied on the Trump campaign because it was a political enemy and there was an election?
Thank you. Thank you. Finally, we have someone on a national news network who's saying the same thing we've been saying here for months.
Yeah, because it's really obvious. Listen, all of this stuff, the feigned shock. Oh my gosh, the FISA application, the FISA warrant was based on a dossier paid for by Hillary Clinton. Oh my God, how did that happen? Again, it's been on the open source documents. You could have known this 18 months ago if you chose. They chose not to know it.
And it's funny how they treat the name Obama like Voldemort on Harry Potter. With regard to, anything having to do with this whole Russia investigation, because this happened during the Obama administration. This was his people doing this. And you tell me he doesn't know anything about it? He whose name shall not be mentioned, which is never mentioned with regard into the Russia probe or the Russia investigation. You'll hear about Comey, you'll hear about some of these other folks who were in the administration during the time, but you will never hear Obama's name mentioned by any Democrat or left-wing media.
And what's even scarier here is most of this FISA warrant was redacted, but there is a part where the FBI asserts that Carter Page is a Russian agent, a Russian spy, right? Yeah. I'm gonna deconstruct that and tear it to pieces again. I've done it before. If you listen to the mainstream media coverage this weekend, I got a ton of that. Even on radio overnight, the way they're covering this, you're going to wonder why, wow, it's finally out. And you're going to go to work today. Finally, it's out in the open. Finally, we know about the lie. Finally, we know that they took Hillary's campaign research, which they knew was false, passed it off to a FISA judge as real, and got a warrant to spy on a president they hated. Finally, this is finally out. And you're going to go to work today and hang out with all your liberal friends or maybe run into them on social media. And they're going to be just as deranged as they were on Friday because they don't know any of this. The media is running with the Carter Page angle. Aha, the FISA warrant finally proves Carter Page is a spy. What? Huh? And they're leaving out the part about, they got lied to the FISA court by that dossier. Yeah, and then they lied to Congress under oath. Oh, the dossier? No, that wasn't the main part of the FISA application. By the way, that's perjury. But, Comey did that on multiple occasions. I mean, there's so much perjury here that I can't even, my head spins at the level of the perjury. And just the repeated instances of the perjury by Comey and so many others. But the left will know nothing about this today. I mean, if you've gone, if you watch CNN all weekend, all you know is that the FISA warrant finally confirms Carter Page is a spy. That's all you know.
That and that Trump's trying to start a war with Iran.
Oh, yes, he's trying to start a war with Iran. Well, but that's to cover up so nobody will notice anymore how he's also a Russian agent.
Yeah.
But see, but again, what we learned this weekend is what we repeat all the time on this show. The only collusion with Russia to influence an investigation was done by Hillary Clinton and the FBI. That's what they did. They took unverified, salacious facts from somebody who was in touch with the Kremlin and passed them off as real and tried to take down a presidency. That's what we know for sure this weekend from the FISA, application that's been largely redacted. By the way, I'm going to blame Trump here because I've had about enough of this with him. I really just want to smack him, and I do. And I love Trump. I do. So don't freak out on the text line and think I'm disavowing Trump or whatever. But I've had it. I mean, when you see this headline, House Intel GOP asked Trump to declassify key parts of the Carter Page FISA application a month ago. Okay, it's beginning to ring hollow to me, Mr. President, when you're on Twitter screaming and yelling about how you have been, maligned by these people, that they spied on you, that they lied. Awesome. We know that now. Declassify the damn thing. Declassify it. Come on. You cannot say you're a victim while you continue to protect these people who you say are victimizing you. Just declassify. And the Republicans said, hey, listen, if you could just declassify pages 10 through 12 and 17 through 34, we can end this today. But he won't. And hasn't. And he's screaming today that he's a victim. Well, I mean, you are the one now colluding with the DOJ and FBI to keep the truth from the public. I don't have an explanation for it. I hope he has a good reason. Maybe he does, but I remain baffled. There's only so much you can say you're a victim when you are colluding with them to keep the truth from the public at this point.